Hey guys, a lot of you are preparing for F1 student visa interviews these days, and we have done a lot of videos on it, right? I mean, we have a full playlist on student visa, which includes videos on checklist of documents that you need to carry, includes like full list of financial documents, etc. We have done a tricky visa questions video. We have done what are the reasons that can get you rejected in the visa interviews. And other things. We have done a lot of real student visa interview stories, etc. from last 2 years. So I will be linking that playlist in the description box below. But what I wanted to cover today was maybe something that I've not done before, and which is what not to say in the US visa interviews. So think of it like this: like US admission officers or visa officers are specifically trained at detecting whether education is your real motive of going to US or not. So obviously they don't want to see anybody who is potentially likely to immigrate to US. And how do they detect this? They detect this by your deciphering your body language as well as things you say. So in this video I'm going to cover 14 such phrases that you should not say or you should avoid saying in the interviews, because that can be a red flag to the visa officer and they can reject you if you say one of these things. So yes, do not say these things in your visa interview. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for all your comments and feedback. It really means a lot to me and helps me in creating all this content for you. So alright, so today's video is about student visa interviews for F1 category, and what I'm going to talk about today is what not to say in these interviews. Now previously we have done a video on tricky visa questions. Do go through it as well, because that was very important as well. But today, in any kind of questions, when you're answering, you might inadvertently say something which you do not realize is going to harm your chances of getting the visa. So what are those phrases, those sentences, or those things that you should avoid saying in the visa interviews? So here are 14 such things. Number 1 is, I'm hoping to find a full-time job in the US after graduation. So while the American job market can be enticing and obviously you want to work there even if you are coming back later on, but your primary focus should be on academics. Highlight your passion for your chosen program and how it aligns with your long-term career goals back home. So do not say anything which is along the lines that you want to settle in US and work there or live there permanently. Number 2, I am not sure what I want to do after graduation, but I'll figure it out. Again, the US visa process prioritizes clarity of purpose. Showcase a well-defined academic and career path linked to your chosen program. Explain how your studies will equip you for your future goals. Number 3, I chose this program because it was easy to get an admission here with my profile. This is such a red flag. They want to admit those students who have clear goals and who know why they are attending this program. Even if your profile is weak and you are going to a low tier program, never say that you're going there just because that is the only program you could get an admit to. You should always showcase that this program is best designed to help you get to your career goals. It's obvious that you will go to the best admission that you could possibly have, and if your profile is weak, then it's okay to go to a low tier program, but your answer should revolve around how the program will help you meet your career goals and not just that it was an easy alternative to get into the US. Next phrase is, I plan to take a lot of online courses to finish my degree faster. F1 visas require full-time in-person enrollment. Emphasize your commitment to attending classes on campus and actively participating in the program. Next is, I am planning to transfer to another university after a semester here. This is again another red flag, because you are giving the vibe that you are not truly going for these universities and that you have some alternative plans in your mind. This can give the impression to the visa officer that your real intentions are something else. So you don't want to create doubts in their mind. You should stick to be talking about the program that you are planning to attend and not talk about some alternative pathways or leaving this program or moving somewhere else or doing something else other than the stated reason on your applications right now. Number 6 is my family will be financially supporting my studies, but they are sending most of the money in cash. Do not talk about undocumented or unverifiable sources of funding. Provide clear documentation like bank statements and sponsorship letters to demonstrate your financial ability. I cannot tell you how many visas are rejected just because people do not show correct financial documents. So definitely go through this previous video that we have done, which covers all the documents that you have to carry in very much detail, especially the financial documents. So be very, very careful about this. All right, next sentence is, I don't have much money saved up myself, but my parents will cover everything. It's okay that your family is supporting you or your parents are sponsoring you, but you must demonstrate some personal financial responsibility. Even if you do not have savings of your own, you should talk like you are grateful that they're supporting you, and that you do have a career plan in mind so that you can build a good life for yourself. So it's better if you can show some documented funds in your own name, even if it's a contribution to the overall budget. So the idea is sound humble, sound grateful that you are getting this opportunity, and do not sound like somebody taking it for granted or that you will be careless about the money part. Next phrase is, my cousin lives in California and I'm really looking forward to spending a lot of time with them while I'm studying. So while obviously family and social connections are important, but you do not really want to talk about your family too much, because again that can give an idea that you have stronger ties in US. You might stay there after your studies as well. Remember, US student visa is given because you want to go study there and come back to your home country at some point of time. So avoid talking about family or social things, and just focus on your education and professional goals. Number 9 is, honestly, the program in my home country isn't as good as the one here. So focus on the unique merits of the US program and how it aligns with your goals, but do not belittle your own country or institutions. Explain how the US program offers specific elements that align with your interest, but it should not sound like it's an escape from your current situation where you do not have good options in hand. Number 10 is, I think I will avail the OPT program, but I'm not familiar with it yet. So F1 visas offer OPT opportunities, which is an optional practical training program, and think of it like student work permit, right? Because it allows you to work outside your campus, and this is what allows us to do jobs in US before we get our H1B visas. Now you must research the OPT eligibility criteria and how it aligns with your career goals. If you show that you really do not understand how the student work permits or other aspect of your F1 visa work, then again it raises a question mark whether you are really going with the genuine intentions of studying there or not. Next is, I don't speak English that well, but I'll learn more once I'm in the US. This is definitely a red flag. They will not allow you if they think you cannot communicate properly while you are there. So English language proficiency is essential for F1 studies. You must demonstrate your ability to communicate clearly and confidently during the interview. And it does not mean that you just have a TOEFL score and that you're good to go. In your interviews also, you must be able to talk clearly and articulate yourself properly. Next is, I'm not sure what my visa status allows me to do in terms of the travel. So again, the point is you must understand F1 visa and associated regulations with it. So travel regulations are a big part of it. Research the permissible travel activities and any potential restrictions on leaving and re-entering the US. Do not sound careless or casual about it. Next is, I'm sure we will be able to manage our expenses. If required, my spouse will take up some work. So if you're taking your dependents when you're going on F1 visa, then know that dependents cannot work in the US. They are legally not allowed to work in the US. So do not say anything that gives them the impression that your dependents are going to try to work in the US. So definitely a no-no. And last one is, I'm interested in advanced encryption, nuclear engineering, bioweapons, weapons development, or gene editing technologies. So, due to potential national security concerns, it's best to avoid mentioning those research areas that could be considered sensitive in your F1 student visa interview. So, US is very particular about it. They have alert list, they have a technology alert list, or TAL, which is not an official document, but everybody talks about it. It's a list of technologies that US government considers sensitive, and if you're going to research in one of those categories, then it might raise a red flag, and mentioning these can lead to what is known as 221G rejection. So be very careful. Even if your research area is around those things, you can talk about other applications and avoid mentioning these sensitive terms. Alright guys, so those were like 14 phrases that you should avoid mentioning in your student visa interviews, because they can create a doubt on your intentions or your ability to properly do the student thing in the US. And obviously you don't want to get your visa rejected, because first of all, it's very expensive to reapply and the slots are not that easily available. So you have got one shot at it. I think, like, do your diligence properly and be very, very prepared for that interview. So I hope this video was helpful. Would you like to add anything here? Did I miss something, or do you have more questions about student visa things? Let me know in the comment box below and I'll try to answer them or create future videos for it. Alright, so hope you're doing well. I will see you guys next week with a fresh new video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.